Any of you that have been with my channel for a while know I am a very big Audio-Technica ATH-M50X headphone fan. I mean, heck, I got them tattooed on me, for crying out loud. I just truly feel it's such a great starting point, a very nice, natural, true starting point to dabble into headphones. And with myself having $1,000+ headphones, I still use my ATH-M50X daily. But of course, as you're seeing them right here, no, they're not perfect. I got a replacement headband up there. I have some wicked cushions on them. So no, they're not perfect out of the box. But what we're going to talk about today is a newly released Audio-Technica ATH-M50X, the USB version right here. They also make them in XLR, but again, we have the USB version. Did they make these perfect right out of the box? And talking about out of your box, well, you get your headphone, you get some replacement pads, which we'll talk about more in detail. You get this little USB-C to A adapter, and then of course your attached cable. Again, we have the USB version. Now, of course, it's no Techne review if we don't kick it off with comfort, right? And talking about the ATH-M50 USB version, well, they feel exactly like the previous ones. They really do. The bonus here are those other ear pads I showed you. And when you take a closer look at these ear pads, well, it's just like the ones we saw in their gaming headset line, the G1 and the G1WLs, I believe it is. As you see, pleather outside, you get that sports silky material right there, and then that pleather inside the locking little sound. The other pads you get are pretty much the standard ones you've seen on the ATH-M50X. Fully pleather, kind of chintzy. I just honestly don't like them, hence the reason I went straight to these. And talking about the size of these pads, they're plenty big. If you look at the dimensions there, as far as width over here, and then the depth, I don't have any issues with pinch or any sort of ears touching the drivers in here. Very nice pads as far as the cloth ones. Not so much on the pleather ones. And as far as weight, we're getting 326 grams. This microphone is permanently attached. You cannot remove it. And that also goes in play with the wire. So we're getting the weight right here with everything as is, the only way it can be. So as far as comfort, I will say it is slightly better right out of the box compared to our classic ATH-M50X, right? Because we have better pads, and it does make that much of a difference. It really does. I still do like my wicked cushions much better. Links right down in the description if you want some of those. It just makes any of your headsets that's what's better, especially the ATH-M50X. And yeah, I would say now stinking cozy right out of the box. So how about the build here? Well, again, the exact same as the ATH-M50X we've seen before. Pretty much primarily plastic minus your little metal reinforced headband right there. Tons of swivel both ways. Probably should have talked about that in the comfort right there. But again, it's pretty much what we've seen right there. Your ear cups go in and out. You actually fold them compact right there. But not talking about them even folded compact. The nice thing is all of the flex points. And that goes into play two ways, which I probably should have talked more about in comfort right there. But also as far as the build, this being primarily plastic, well, if you stretch it out, you twist it up, it's bending in all sorts of different ways. So you don't really got to worry about a stress point. Because again, it's going to fold up. It's going to twist up. You're not really putting stress on a certain point here or the other. That also goes to, again, into the comfort, which I missed, is whenever it sits on your head, it's going to bend in whichever way your head shape is. If it sloops back more in the back, it's going to fold back there. If it's a little more in the front, you got more hair. If you got glasses like myself, it's going to give and alleviate that pressure anywhere with this headset. And that goes into play again with the comfort and the build right here. Even though it's primarily plastic, but we're maintaining that lightweight, I give it a complete pass. I absolutely love it. Audio-Technica does it right. Now let's go and talk about features and functions on this headset or pair of headphones. I'm not sure which way you want to class it. Now, Audio-Technica is classing it as a streaming headset, not necessarily a gaming headset, because again, as we talked about before, the Audio-Technica ATH G1s and G1Ws or whatever they are, that's their gaming class. So I think they're trying to separate here gaming, then headphones, and now streaming, you know what I mean? Or maybe if you're in a meeting or something, I don't know. You let me know down in the comments. Does a gaming product become a gaming product when it has a built-in microphone? You let me know. Anyways, as far as features and functions, again, this is the microphone you're hearing. I listened to one playback before already, and I personally would prefer a windscreen thrown on this because I get a little bit of my P's and T's kind of popping there a little bit, just kind of really potent. And I'm not getting so much background noise. If you hear it clapping, I don't have any sound dampener or anything. You can kind of hear that right there. but I just wish there was a windscreen, or maybe the microphone was a little longer and it came more right in front of my mouth rather than right on the side over there. You know what I mean? That personal preference, that's what I think. The microphone is clear with what I heard. I just wish there was a little bit extra, maybe in front and then with a little pop filter, windscreen, whatever slapped on it. Now, the cool thing, this microphone is flip up to mute, flip down to active right there, and plenty moldable, and it does hold its position. By the way, when it flips up to mute, you get a little tactile bump. You don't get a tone in the headset or anything, just kind of bump. You will clearly be able to tell when it's actually muted there. I kind of wish you got a tone in the headset, you know. Other thing, on the back of the headset, right back here, you got this little dial. You can press it in and activate mic monitoring. Again, kind of helping out with that USB function where we have. And you can actually adjust the volume up or down for mic monitoring. Now, in the lowest setting of mic monitoring, I feel like it's quite manageable. I don't like hearing myself holler in there where I can't hear my game or whatever else is going on. The lowest setting is really nice. Almost like, I don't know if I'd say like a phone call-ish type volume, you know, but it's very nice, manageable volume where it's not disturbing to your game, your music, or the conversation you're having, since it's being a streaming headset, you know what I mean? But it's really cool to be able to adjust that there. Now, the stinker is you press that in, again, you got your mic monitoring. I wish it was multifunction. Like, I wish we had a volume wheel there as well, but unfortunately, it's just for that mic monitoring, which is a cool feature, but a stinker that it's just minimal. Now let's go and talk about sound on this headset. And stick with me. Don't just be like, they're the ATH-M50X. I already know what they sound like. No. Stick with me here because you want to hear this. By the way, 45mm driver's frequency range of 15 to 28,000. And again, we're running USB. You got the little USB-C adapter if you want, or you can go run USB-A. Same sound either way right here, okay? Now, talking about the sound of these compared to my classic ATH-M50X. Again, it was significantly different, and where they differed is these guys were definitely fuller. There was quite a bit more bass, and I'm not talking thumpy, hard-hitting beats kind of rumble in your ears bass, just a fuller, would we say, mids and bass working together right there. It was quite shocking because when I plugged them in, I'm like, whoa, something's a little weird here, you know what I mean? What's going on? Because again, like, this is second nature to me, right? This is a sound I'm so used to and a sound I praise about. I'm just going to leave them out here because I'm going to be referring to them quite a bit here, you know what I mean? But the core sound of these were so full, so bassy. I thought it was a game I was playing. No, let me get into a different game. Let me dabble with a racing game or something. Still, a lot of bass, a lot of mids, very full. Not muddy, because again, it's delivering the sound right, but it was just overdone with the bass and mids too much. Is that because running USB? I don't think so. I'm not too sure. I don't know. I've used these on so many, running straight 3.5 into my Macs, into my iFi stack, straight into my PC, and I get that same core sound. You all have seen in a lot of my gaming headset videos me dabble with EQs. I get a smiley curve, right? My bass starts kind of a little bit above midway, peaks up on the highs a little bit right there. So I got a little mixture of all. I'm getting nice dialogue, nice detail in the environment. I'm still getting some body back here. Honestly, that's always based off the ATH-M50X sound. That's my core sound. It's what I love. And then I'll play with it here and there. Maybe I want a little bit more bass in this game or vice versa, whatever. Then I'll dabble with it. But my core starting point is always right there. This starting point was completely different from that. The best way for me to explain this, I'm sure you're with me, you're jiving with me, right? But they sounded like this. They sound like the ATH GLs, the wireless or the wired ones. That is exactly what they sounded like. And I think that is the juice we're getting from running USB, which was just disappointing, to say the least. I didn't like the sound. Let me just be straight out with you. I didn't like it. And I don't think you will either. You know, we love the ATH-M50X for what it has as a whole. The sound is awesome, right? This is like, I don't know what they're trying to do right here. This is a disgrace in the sound department with badging them as the ATH-M50X, and it makes me sad. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this video up, right? Because I'm sure now that I just trashed the sound, said I couldn't stand it, it's horrible. A lot of yous are done. Some of yous have probably clicked off. But stick with me here for this conclusion, because I want to chime in on a few little tidbits here, talking about this headset out of the gate, coming in at $200. ATH, the G1s, the gaming ones, coming right around 250 for wireless, 170 for the wired. ATH-M50X is coming around 170, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere right around there. So this is sitting right in between all of them, right? Does it justify it? I'm sorry. This is, it hurts. I'm an Audio-Technica fanboy, guys. I love just about everything Audio-Technica delivers. But this flat out sucks.